What's up, everyone? Welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Video Game Fight School channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. Tom Clancy's The Division 2 in the year 2024. What would you need to know if you wanted to start this game from scratch? These are some of the hounding questions at least this is one of the many hounding questions that surround this particular game. Now, this is my Xbox account. I haven't necessarily touched this account. And what I did was I fired the game up. I have the Warlords of New York expansion, and I made the decision to go to Warlords of New York expansion directly. The reason the game gives you that option, for those of you who may or may not have seen this option, is that you're able to quickly skip the story and all the requirements of the base game from level 1 through level 30. And then you also make your way through the different, gear score levels and a lot of different things that you have to do in terms of missions. A lot of those missions basically cycle through you fighting the end game bad guys in different contexts and understanding who they are. However, that's not the most important thing when you start playing this game. The most important thing, in my opinion, is learning how your player character develops over the course of the game. This is going to drive everything that you do in this game. So we're going to go ahead and look at it very carefully. And based on this package that you get, what are we talking about? So the very first thing will be your weapon and your gear. Your gear synergizes with each other. Your mask, your backpack, your gloves, knee pads, holster, and chest piece all come together to play a role in giving your player benefits, power benefits on different skills and different categories. Your weapons as well can synergize with this mix and give you more benefits, not just the benefits of bullets. The Division is far from a bullet game. This is Diablo dressed up as a militaristic sci-fi post-pandemic, third-person looter shooter. This is not your average or regular shooter game. So when you start shooting enemies and they start taking a bunch of bullets and they're not downed, don't be surprised. It's just the same as casting spells on bad guys in a fantasy RPG game. Now, you can make your bullets be heavy hitters, but you have to actually fashion your character to be able to make your bullets hit heavy. And that's a DPS build. Many of you have played RPGs, you know what a DPS build will be. You can make your character get in a position where they can take a lot of damage. You'll notice when you run out in the field, you can't really take a lot of damage. You can change that. You can come in with a gear set or set of, pieces for your items that will work together to give you more armor, a little bit more health, and give you benefits to be able to take damage. You can also come in a point where you make your skills, which are these tech attributes or whatever they are. You can make them become more powerful by granting them skill tiers. So what I'm trying to say in this video is you need to basically focus your attention on these elements because they are the most important elements that drive the game at every given level. When I say every given level, I mean it. Every content piece, every raid, every incursion, every side mission, every main mission, every activity in the open world will require that you actually build your character in a specific way. Now, what this entails is you're willing to take some time to pay attention to what it is that you have. You're also willing to take some time to look at the other RPG natures that, or I say RPG-esque mechanics that are available to you when you actually come into the base of operations. Now, this is a secondary menu or tertiary menu, depending on what it is. Division has a bunch of menus. And this particular menu shows you the different specialization trees that are in the game. There are 6 of them altogether. You'll notice that 1, 2, 3 are locked and 1, 2, 3 are unlocked. 1, 2, 3 are the base specializations that come when the game actually first released. These were first here, and you had to grind through some gameplay, get to that gear score 500. While you're getting that, you get these specialization points. There's a weird way you have to get them. You have to actually put on the specialization, play those missions, and get them. These came later as expansions, and there are ways to go ahead and unlock them. They do have their benefits as well. It's something you can read through and go ahead, unlock, and start to work your way to getting the specialization. They do have a lot of requirements that go with them. You can begin the tiers and fulfill requirements, and as you fulfill them all the way to the end, it's going to grant you those specializations. But what is a specialization? What does this do? Well, first of all, specialization comes with a weapon, and then it comes with some attributes that are attached to the specialization class. Because a weapon can't really do all the things that it's going to grant you. For example, we have the survivalist, which is my favorite specialization. So if I was playing today, I wouldn't even bother with the others. I know there are people who tell me you can always make your build, do a certain thing. But the way that my play style actually works is heavily grounded into this one specialization. I like the way this specialization is built. So first of all, because I have access to the specialization points, I'm going to go ahead and basically level up my rifle. Then I'm going to do, is this my assault rifle? What's this? Yep, I'm going to go ahead and level my assault rifle fully. And then you're going to notice that as I'm leveling up, it's showing me the attributes that I get access to. Once I go ahead and level it up, I can basically see what these things are going to do. I have all 165 specialization points, so you're going to see that it's going to basically grant me access to even a special version of the skills that I just showed you. So remember, we talked about the skills just now, right? So here, if I wanted to use this survivalist specialization, it will give me access to a special kind of seeker mine. If I wanted to use the gunner specialization, it will give me a special kind of turret that's not available to the other specializations. If you notice, it's locked. It says requires, as I say gunner, I'm sorry, demolitionist specialization, right? Let's go into the, there's another one here. This shield. Yep, for this one requires you to basically do the firewall specialization. So that's one way it can affect your skills. But remember, I just wanted to make that a side note. We were talking about the specialization affecting your character's gameplay and a few attributes that are available to you. Some of them are dark zone based. This one says, or some of them are group based as well. This is called the survivalist tactical link. It says the group members get 10% bonus damage to targets with status effects. I like to play in groups. So, and I also like to apply status effects. So if I apply a status effect, everybody in the group's damage basically increases by 10%. The nice increments to damage. It really works. This one here is called group signature ammo supply. This is an upgrade and it says killing enemies under status effect adds 3 to your group's ammo bar, except from signature weapons. So this is a benefit for my group as well. Again, I told you that this is a specialization that I enjoy playing because it works for my play style. I enjoy playing in groups, if you get what I mean. Let's see. I got to reset this one. Respec element. Boom. So that's basically my specialization. And I'm going to go ahead and take it. Do I still have specialization points? I do. Where's this supposed to go? This is my specialization weapon. Okay, bam. I've used it all up. It gives me a little symbol and says, hey, you've used it all up. And yeah, and I'm going to go ahead and activate it. And you're going to notice that it's going to get given to me by this guy saying, hey, man, you got it. It's just a little cutscene that they play. And then, they, it's really cool. I like it. They open it. You open it up and bam, you see your crossbow. You can also use the weapon as well. You can fire enemies with it. It's not the easiest to fire, but that's basically it. Now that I have my specialization and I understand what it does and I see that, okay, and I can, basically comprehend, I now have to look at my gear. The team element can be highlighted in my gear or not. Usually, if I showed you my original build, the one that I enjoy playing Tom Clancy's The Division with, it is a build that is a status effect build. And when I say status effect, I mean all this build does all day is basically to go ahead and pepper enemies. Let me see if I can find you guys that footage. There's footage of me using that build somewhere here. I can't seem to find it. Well, I guess that's not happening today. But there's a build that I use that puts status effect on all the enemy NPCs using one of these skills called the Chem Launcher Firestarter. This is a really, really wonderful item. And I wear items that augment or allow for me to be able to play a strong version of that build. Now, these examples I'm giving you, they may not necessarily make sense. I know, but remember I told you there is a patience that there's a measure of patience that you must, adhere to in making sure that you don't go ahead and, lose your mind in trying to understand all of this. But it is a gradual process. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. And at the end of the day, you really, really have to, basically just kind of say, you know what, I'm here for the journey. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my time in learning exactly what it is that this whole thing is about. So Tom Clancy's The Division 2. This is what you need to know as you go ahead and start up the game in terms of understanding your player power. Everything else that the game provides for you here, the game of, the base of operations, in terms of being able to craft items, in terms of being able to buy specific items from the vendor, in terms of blueprints, in terms of being able to use the optimization station and the tinkering station and the recalibration station, These are also little elements that improve your player's power creep as it pertains to gear and weapons. So a lot of the gear that you're going to be getting, make sure that you're paying attention to them. You can use the attributes to fill up a library. So basically create a library of these attributes that are the best versions of the attributes. And you can come back and withdraw from that library and then use that to recalibrate gear that you have that doesn't necessarily meet power requirements. So at the end of the day, after 10 minutes, The Division is a game that rewards you by giving you power creep in terms of letting the player get incremental values in terms of a lot of their different attributes that are available in the game. This is the pursuit that the player engages in. And then at the end of the day, they can pretty much leverage this pursuit in the missions and in the game's content around the world. So everything from Dark Zone to incursions to, stinking raids, all of this, as the player gets stronger and stronger, will eventually get the player to the point where they are, they find out that they're much more effective in combat. So for those of you who are new to the system, I hope I've been able to give you basically a synopsis as to what you need to know, the most important thing you must know. Let me hear your thoughts in the comment section. Those of you who are veterans, if I missed something, you know the drill. Highlight it in the comment section. Let the newbies know what's going on. Thanks so much for watching. Peace out.